Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to remove unwanted tampos and decals off of your vehicle. This will work on most diecast other than Hot Wheels and stuff, but Greenlight, Auto World, stuff like that, it'll work on. But anything you don't want. And today I'm going to be removing the Rebel up here, removing all this black, and then here the fender flares, and that'll be it. I'm gonna do my best to keep the taillights intact, but I may have to repaint them. Everything else will be okay though. I use normal Q-tips like these generally, and then for some tighter areas I'll use these real fine Q-tips that you can get at Hobby Lobby. They work good for those areas. And then I'm gonna try using this tape for the tail light. On the other truck like this I didn't worry about the tail light because I wanted it to be color matched, but I'm just doing this as an example. I'm using this not 100% acetone for removing the decals, and I just put it in this little bottle here because it's easier to handle. Alright, so let's get started. Whenever you're doing this, you want to do like 1 or 2 swipes and then switch to a fresh Q-tip. That way you're not smearing it around and junking up everything. Get this position here to cover the tail light how I want it. Start removing that. And then, yeah, 1, 2 swipes, switch to a clean tip, keep going at it. You want to be careful on heavier coated areas that have a lot of decals, because if you go over it too much, you're going to start softening the paint, and then it's going to want to lift off. I have a car put up right now, but I tried it on a Camaro, the M2 Coke hauler set Camaro with the OBS truck. Tried to remove the silver and it was too heavy, so it ended up softening the paint way too much, and that car will have to get repainted, but it's no big deal. I don't really care about that car. I was just messing around, practicing and stuff. So, tape actually wasn't the best idea on this part, because I'm better off just repainting the taillights. It didn't really mess anything up, but the paint thinner kind of seeped under the tape a little bit and smudged the taillight there. Probably hard to see, but anyway, yeah, I ended up repainting that. But that's how that's going so far. Doesn't take too long, but you do want to be patient with it, not rush it and just smear crap around, and you know, take your time, do it right. Certain areas you got to be real cautious if you're wanting to save certain emblems and whatnot. On this truck I'll have to be pretty cautious around the headlights and on the hood to not erase the hood vent paint and stuff like that. But as long as you're steady and careful, it's not too bad. Q-tips are very useful for all kinds of stuff in this hobby. You can use them for this, you know, and then save them in a little box or something like that. And then you can use, if you get these, I mean, you can get enough to do several hundred cars, you know, for a few dollars. And you get the plastic ones, and then whenever you get them all dirty like this, save them, they'll dry out, and snip the ends off. You can use them for exhaust tips, you can use them for axle shafts, all kinds of stuff, whatever you think of, but they're pretty useful. Sometimes when you're wiping across it, you want to go a little bit slow. Like, you know, say you're going right here, you want to start and then just kind of wipe across and let it erase everything. One good thing about these Auto World trucks, you can erase this stuff and they clean up pretty nice. This is a yellow one that I did already, and man, I love this yellow. It's super clean, and without all the extra black decals and stuff, it really cleans it up, in my opinion. We'll see how this gray one's gonna look. So it'll look pretty good probably. Now on this, if you're careful, you know, when you're wiping across this area, just do a swipe there, and you've got the edge lip where the grill and stuff is down in there. So you want to leave that black for the venting to keep the detail. But it's inevitable that you're going to erase the tow hooks, you know, the paint on them anyway, the top coat in black. So you can go back in a little brush and touch those back up black, or maybe do them silver or chrome even to give it a better look. Just whatever you decide. Now on these little side marker blinkers here in the bumper, if you see there, if you swipe real quick over them, they're recessed a little bit, so you can actually leave that light there without having to repaint it. You just want to make sure that you lightly swipe over it and don't apply enough pressure that the Q-tip's going to go down into the indented area, because then it's going to try to erase the light. Probably the most time consuming part of this whole thing is doing the front end, and that's just because there's so much black It's doable, plenty doable easily, but it just takes a little bit more time than the rest of the trip. Now I'm going to go ahead and open the hood, get that up out of my way. If you got something like that you can move out of the way to help, it's a lot better. And go back over these areas on the lower area of the bumper that I already went over to make sure they're good and cleaned up. You want to be real careful on this upper grill section because you don't want to mess the headlights up, and you can paint them back on if you're good enough to do that. I could do it, but they look pretty good, so I'm going to try to be cautious not to erase the headlights. Kind of work your way in towards the headlights or start next to the headlights, and then you can get right next to it on this edge of the grill and then just do a quick little swipe up and get all that out of the way. Sorry, this video will be in real time. That's why I'm trying to commentate on everything, because right now, starting out just filming on my phone. Need to get a GoPro or something like that and the computer so I can put videos together, but having to kind of make it a all-in-one video, so can't really do all the fancy fast forwarding and whatnot yet. But that's what the skip button's for if you don't feel like watching. By now you probably got the point. But if you stick around and you're watching it still, thank you. That's cool. I really appreciate it. Just about finished. I'm gonna go back in, add a couple little details on my own. Gotta do the hood. Get next to this headlight a little bit. Check everything out. Touch up, check it over once you about got it. And make sure there's no smudged areas that need a little fresh swipe over. We can get it all cleaned up. Now for the hood, this part's gonna be fun there, but got it pretty good on that yellow one, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'll try not to have this Q-tip too soaked. And get back to the fresh one. You want to take your time on these areas because you don't want to have to repaint this vented area on the back. Plus it's got the 1500 badges on there, and some people might want to erase all that, but I like to keep a little bit of the details. It's mainly these corners that are the biggest pain, but you just take a little bit of patience. That's all it takes. A little bit of patience. Have some good lighting so you can see what you're doing. I keep these lamps around here so I can move them around, see everything real good. So you want to be really, really careful on these areas. I'm actually going to switch to the fine tip Q-tip and finish up this corner on the hood next to the vent a little bit, and then add a couple details back. Wish I had some music playing, but didn't really feel like playing some elevator music on my iPad or something, but maybe I will next time. I actually got pretty close to that tail light. Well, I mean all the way up against it, and managed to save that one, but this other one will need to be touched back up. One good thing about these is the tailgate's open, so painting the tail light is a little bit easier, since you can get that out of your way. Sometimes I'll take like a Mr. Magic eraser and I'll do a little bit of a hand buff on the areas to clean them up good. But this is actually cleaning up real good, so I'm not even going to worry about doing that on here. But I'm going to go ahead, show y'all how it's looking. Pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple little details back probably. Do a little bit of chrome. I use these chrome pens from the Hobby Lobby, liquid chrome. They work pretty good. I don't like that they take forever to dry. Once they dry up, man, I mean, it probably takes, I don't even know. There's certain builds I've done I've let just sit around for months, and they're nice and hardened up. And the chrome's actually somewhat durable. But man, if you touch it anytime after you just got it done, it just smudges around. So it's usually one of the last little details I do on something if I'm doing chrome. And I'm going to do a little chrome on the ram emblem here and on the tow hooks. This is a 1mm tip, I believe. Yeah, something like that. Yep, 1mm. I actually need to get a new one of these because this one's been used so much. The tips, the little brush tip that this thing normally has is kind of shoved down inside of it. But it still works. Just not ideal for certain things. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and touch this tail light back up. Probably just do the red on it and touch the silver back up later, because you guys don't want to sit here while this paint dries. But it's good enough to show you what the video is actually about. I've got these nice brushes that I ordered off Amazon. They're for doing nails and stuff, but there's a bunch of different size tips and they work really good for this type of stuff. I need to order another batch of them, and need to order some small ones because I just ordered a variety pack originally, and it only had like 2 really small ones that I needed. I'm sure I'll use the other ones because sometimes I mess with 1/25th scale stuff, so I'll use the bigger ones on that. This is some airbrush Wicked Red that I'm using on this tail light. Usually I'll use this Tester's Red, and it's let's see what this is. It just says dark red Rogue, but it's really nice for tail lights and stuff. It gives that kind of darker look, but it's still in the lighting, it still looks really good. That's what I used on the tail lights on this thing, but I like it because it's kind of darker, but then when you get it in the light, it still shines like bright red. This is a replica of my own truck that I built, but I need to redo it a little bit. My truck's obviously not actually wide bodied, but thought it might be one day, so I just did this messing around. Did an American flag tailgate on it, like my real truck actually does have that. I had a good buddy do that a few years ago. Anyway, back to this thing. I'm gonna get this tail light finished up, give y'all get a little view of it, maybe show off a few other trucks, and then that'll be that for this video. Well, my camera's not letting me flip it around right now for some reason, but thanks guys, that's it for this video. Hope this helps some people out. removing some tampos, and y'all have fun, and I'll see y'all in the next video.